Death Note, Episode 1. The episode starts in the dark, dull world of the Shinigami realm. The focus shifts to a Shinigami named Ryuk. He seems preoccupied with something while sitting on a cliff, and the other Shinigami relaxes and gambles. One of the gambling Shinigami invites Ryuk to join them, but he declines the offer and keeps staring in the distance. Meanwhile, in the human realm, we see a high school student, Light Yagami. He is present in his high school English class. He also seems preoccupied and observes his classmates playing games and whispering, ignoring the lesson. The teacher calls his name and asks him to translate the line they are reading, and he follows the teacher's order and effortlessly does so. This shows that he is a really smart student. Later, Light is on the way home, and various crimes are being reported via public television. Ryuk and Light, in their respective worlds, think about how rotten the world has become. The next day in class, Light is looking outside the window when he sees a notebook fall to the ground. The close up of the book shows the text Death Note written on the cover. After school, Light retrieves the notebook and reads its name. He opens it, and there are rules written in it about how to use it. He reads the first rule: the human whose name is written in this note shall die. He thinks it is some prank and leaves the book on the ground and starts to walk away. But his curiosity gets intrigued and he takes the death note and head home. At home, he doubtfully goes over the rules written inside the notebook. He still believes it is a prank, but decides to test it. Meanwhile, on live TV, a news report about 8 people being held hostage by a killer. Light decides to test it by writing down the name of the criminal involved in a hostage situation on live TV. He writes his name in the death note and then waits for the 40-second time period that it takes for the death note to take effect according to the rules. After 40 seconds, as nothing has happened, he is about to turn the TV off when suddenly the hostages run out of the building unharmed. The reporter informs the public that the criminal dropped dead suddenly, and Light is astonished, but he tries to rationalize it as a coincidence. At the moment, his mother calls him and tells him to hurry up as it's time for his cram school. Still not completely convinced it was not a coincidence, Light decides to test the notebook a second time and keeps it in his backpack. In the class, he sits and thinks about whom he should test the death note on again to see immediate results. He sees Sudo, a bully at his school, and his thought of testing the death note on him crosses his mind. But he decides against killing Sudo to avoid killing anyone he actually knows. On his way home from cram school, he sees a motorcycle gang abusing a young woman. Hearing that the leader's name is Takuo Shibuimaru, Light walks into a shop and writes Takuo's name in a number of variations to make sure he spells his name correctly. To further test the notebook, Light writes that the cause of death to be a traffic accident. 40 seconds later, the girl frees herself and makes a run for it. Takuo is struck by a passing truck as he chases the girl on his bike. This confirms to Light that Death Note is the real thing. Realizing that he has killed 2 people, Light is violently sick. In the Shinigami realm, we see Ryuk, and he informs other Shinigami that he has dropped his Death Note in the human world. Ryuk is the original owner of the Death Note. The other Shinigami laugh at Ryuk for dropping his Death Note in the human world. Expressionlessly, he walks up to a portal while announcing that he is heading to the human world to look for it. He sprouts wings and flies through the portal. Light arrives home from school and he finds his mother waiting for him. He gives his mother the result of the national practice exam. His mother exclaims happily as he has got the first position. He tells his mother that he is going to study and asks her not to disturb him. His mother asks if he wants anything. He waves off any offers of a reward for placing first and goes to his room to be alone. Once inside his room, he locks the door. The next scene shows him opening up the Death Note. Several pages of the notebook are filled with names. Ryuk appears in his room and Light screams and falls out of his chair in surprise. Ryuk introduces himself as the Shinigami who dropped the notebook. Collecting himself, Light gets up and informs Ryuk that he has been waiting for him. Ryuk is impressed with the number of times Light has used the Death Note in just 5 days and supplies Light with more information about the notebook. Light explains that he has been killing criminals with heart attacks, expecting people to begin realizing that someone is passing judgment on them. He has tasked himself with cleansing the world of evil and expects that once people realize someone is watching them and killing evildoers, everyone will conform to good. While Ryuk wonders if this will make Light the only evil person left, Light brushes this aside and claims that he is one of Japan's top students who will reign over a new world as God. Ryuk appears satisfied that he has found something so interesting in the human world. And that's all for today, guys. Stay tuned to get more new videos, stay safe, and keep watching.